I watched the heck out this game from big noon kickoff to the end of the game, right? And I'm just like, Nebraska's coming out. You know, I was high on Casey Thompson. I'm like, bro, this dude was leading the Big 12. You know what I'm saying? With a broken hand, he was leading with a broken thumb on his throwing hand, right? Comes in this game, is lighting it on fire, bruh. Lighting everything on fire. But guess what? His skill guys cannot catch the ball. I have never seen so many drops in my life. I have never seen a guy get an interception or there's 2 interceptions because the ball went through another guy's hand. Completely like, this is what they was doing the whole time, just hugging themselves. It was terrible, man. What was Scott Frost like? And then you're going to, hold on, he goes for an onside kick while you're up by 11. His excuse was hold on, let me make sure I get this right. His excuse on the onside kick was he felt if they had recovered the onside kick, they would have been able to put the game away and win the game. Your defense hasn't proved anything. They've been getting blown up in the trenches.
Northwestern was right there.
They're right knocking on the door, bro. And it's a Pat Fitzgerald, highly disciplined, highly developed team. And to be honest, this is what we talk about. Northwestern will have their down year, their inexperience, and then they will end up coming another year and they'll be experienced. Those guys will be developed. And that's what we saw. We saw, honestly, the culture in Nebraska, something is wrong. There's no discipline. It's the same thing. You fix the quarterback problem. Quarterback isn't an issue, but your skill guys dropping balls, skill guys fumbling the ball, that's an issue. Why is that still happening? Why are y'all getting penalties when y'all shouldn't be getting penalties, Nebraska?
Yeah, that's when you make a bonehead onside kick call like that, it comes to my mind like this. So they lose to Northwestern. You know, in 6 games, you know, if the record's looking ugly, I don't know if Scott Frost lasts out there. I don't know if he survived the whole season. Like we said last week, Northwestern could be just good this year. It could be that year for Northwestern to be good. But at the same time, when you're calling onside kicks at that point in the game where the game was still in the midst of being decided, I don't know. I think that was a bad coaching call. And like we talked about recently in my group chat, I remember Eli Drinkwitz, Herman, and Scott Frost being 3 of the hottest coaching names out there right now. And right now, all of them seem to be doing bad, if you ask me. All of them seem to not be living up to what their expectation is. Scott Frost, I mean, you're playing Northwestern. I think that should have been a win for him if they would have played the game very disciplined, like a normal team would, instead of trying to do the trickery and be that type of team. They win. But like I said, I don't know if Scott Frost lasts throughout the year if the first 6 games continue to look like this. Even though Casey Thompson didn't look as bad, the numbers at the end look kind of woozy.
Yeah,
but
if you didn't watch the game and you just look at the numbers, you're like, God, he threw 2 picks and like, but then when you watch the game and you just see like, I've never, even in a high school game, I've never seen so many drops.
Right.
Actually, in a Muni League game, I've never seen so many drops. Like, it was terrible.
I think the last pick was maybe on him, the pick 6 to win the game. I think it was maybe on him. I don't know, but like I said, if you look at it at the end of the game, you would think differently. But you had to watch the game. I caught the second half of that game, and I could have just
the last INT, the offensive player had the ball in his hands and just let it go, and then it popped into the defender's hands. Like he had it and let it go. Like it was weird, bro. I never seen nothing like it. And then here's the sad part: that Scott Frost. Like, I'm sorry, Scott Frost. You go and you blame your coaching staff and say, "Oh, I think that they needed to get more creative."
That's the creative part, right there.
No, sit there, stand 10 toes, take it right there on the chin. You effed the game up and gave Northwestern all the momentum that they had with that BS onside kick call. You got cocky for what?
In the first half.
You're not him. You still have things to prove. There's not one reason. It'd be different if you was just winning the Big Ten West year in, year out. I could see you being cocky. But you ain't doing that.
Hey, I saw a tweet on Twitter, actually. Some guy put the silent library guys up there and said, "Hey, Scott Frost, go for an onside kick." And the guys were like back there laughing. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, gotta be, man.